3 months before I was supposed to marry the love of my life, she hurled a glass of Pinot Noir at my chest during dinner with her parents and screamed loud enough to turn heads 3 tables over. And no, I didn't cheat. I didn't forget an anniversary or flirt with a waitress or leave the toilet seat up. I asked her for a prenup. That was it. Just 4 words. We should get prenup. It was supposed to be a quiet dinner at her favorite bistro, white tablecloths, candlelight, her parents grinning at the idea of their perfect daughter getting her dream wedding. We were 3 months out. The invitations had been sent. The venue was booked. And I had just gotten off a call with my lawyer that afternoon. Simple protection. Nothing crazy, he'd said. Just clarity. Especially if you're coming in with significant assets. Because I was. I'd built a successful real estate portfolio in my late 20s, thanks to some smart investments and stupidly long hours. By 33, I had 2 properties fully paid off, no debt, and about $400,000 in savings. My fiancée, Emma, worked in nonprofit fundraising. Great heart, average salary. That never bothered me. But secrecy? That's a different beast. I waited until dessert. Her dad had just cracked a joke about how married life was all about creative negotiation, and I chuckled and thought, perfect opening. Hey, Emma, I said, trying to keep it light. I've been thinking, we should probably get a prenup drawn up. Just something basic. To protect both of us. She blinked. Her mom blinked. Then came the silence. The type that sucks the air out of a room. Emma's face twisted in a way I had never seen before. Her hand shook as she reached for her wine glass, not to drink, but to throw it straight at me. The whole restaurant gasped. She didn't say anything right away. She just stood up, red in the face, fist clenched, like she was trying to stop herself from lunging across the table. You don't trust me, she spat. After everything, you don't trust me? I was soaked. Her dad stood up, too, holding out his hands like he thought a fight might break out. Her mom whispered, Emma, sit down. You're making a scene. But she didn't sit. Instead, she grabbed her purse, shot me a look that could peel paint off a wall, and stormed out. Not just of the restaurant, out of the building entirely. Her dad offered me a napkin. Her mom apologized. But me? I just sat there, dripping stunned. I knew she'd be upset. I didn't know she'd react like a grenade went off in her chest. When I got home that night, she wasn't there. No note. No calls. Nothing. Instead, I got a text at 1:07 a.m. If you need to protect yourself from me, maybe you shouldn't be marrying me. That was it. No punctuation. Just cold, deliberate disappointment. I didn't respond. I needed sleep. But I couldn't get it. My gut had gone from did I overstep to why did she overreact so hard in less than 6 hours. So I did something I'd never done before in our 4-year relationship. I started digging. The first red flag wasn't even a search. It was a memory. Last summer, I offered to help her refinance her car loan. She brushed it off. It's almost paid off, she said. No need to complicate things. Except now I wasn't sure. So I called in a favor from my friend Josh, a banker. I asked him to check public debt records under her name. Totally legal and totally terrifying when he called me back the next day. Bro, she's got over $90,000 in open balances. Some of it in collections. What the hell are you marrying into? I almost dropped my phone. It wasn't just one account. It was credit cards. A personal loan. A second personal loan. And get this, a line of credit from a private lender known for payday-style interest rates. I sat in my truck in the parking lot outside my office, staring at the printout. My fiancée, the woman who acted like money didn't matter, had somehow amassed $92,000 in debt. And never told me. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted to know more. So I checked our finances. We'd been keeping things separate, per her request, until after the wedding. But we had a shared Venmo. She'd asked me to cover rent, just until after the honeymoon, and I'd been paying for 100% of the groceries for the last year. It wasn't adding up. Then I remembered something even worse. 2 months ago, I walked in on her shredding a stack of envelopes. When I asked what she was doing, she laughed and said, old credit card offers. But I distinctly remember seeing one labeled urgent, final notice, delinquent. I asked to see it. She said she threw it away. She hadn't. She shredded the damn thing. 2 days after the wine glass incident, she finally came home. No apology. Just a sullen silence as she walked through the door and put her purse on the counter. We need to talk, I said. I figured. She didn't look at me. Just leaned against the kitchen island like a sulky teenager. So I laid it out. Everything. The debt, the hidden notices, the fact that I now knew she owed more than most people make in 2 years. She didn't deny it. She didn't cry. She laughed. Not a ha-ha funny laugh. A dry, bitter, almost proud kind of scoff. I knew you'd go digging, she said. I just didn't think you'd do it this soon. Then she turned it on me. What? You think I'm the only person with student loans? You think a prenup is going to make you some financial saint while I look like a gold digger? I was stunned. This isn't about student loans, I said. This is about lying. Hiding. I didn't lie, she snapped. I just didn't tell you. That's not the same. Emma, I said, you are $92,000 in debt. We are supposed to be building a life together, not hiding parts of it. You have money, she fired back. It wouldn't even matter to you. And that's when I knew the truth. It wouldn't matter to her. Because she had always expected me to fix it. The prenup wasn't an insult. It was a threat to her plan. There's more. Oh, there's so much more. But I'll leave you with this. That night, she gave me an ultimatum. No prenup. Or no wedding. And I told her I'd give her my answer soon. She thinks she's still holding the cards. But she has no idea what I've already done behind the scenes. Let's just say, this wedding's about to turn into the most expensive therapy session of her life. After her wineglass meltdown and my discovery of her $92,000 secret, Emma gave me a choice: sign the prenup off or call off the wedding. I didn't answer. Instead, I quietly started pulling back. She had no clue I'd already frozen our wedding savings account. That weekend, she started damage control by flipping the narrative. Her version? He's suddenly paranoid. Wants a prenup like I'm after his money. He's acting controlling. She told her sister, then her friends, then her mom, who sent me a long, guilt-tripping text about unconditional love and not treating marriage like a business deal. Right. Meanwhile, Emma walked around the apartment like a victim. Short with me, long sighs, lots of, I just can't believe you think I'm that kind of person. But she still wanted the wedding. So she played both sides, told me we could talk it through, while spinning lies to everyone else. One of her friends pulled me aside at brunch and said, you should be careful with ultimatums. Emma's been through a lot. The hell? I'd spent 4 years supporting this woman, planning a future, never once checking her spending. And now I was being painted as the paranoid fiancé. But fine, let her talk. I had my own plan. I booked a consult with a forensic accountant. She laughed when I told her why. You'd be amazed how many people get married thinking they're inheriting a princess, only to find out she's a swamp witch in a crown. She pulled credit records. Found more than I expected. Emma had defaulted on 2 old credit cards before we met. She'd been quietly spiraling for years, never once mentioning it. That night, I confronted her again. Why didn't you ever tell me about the debt? Her response? Because I knew you'd run. And I loved you too much to risk that. That's when I realized. It wasn't love. It was dependence. And I wasn't going to be her escape hatch anymore. I wish I could say the story peaked with the $92,000 debt. But that was just the start. After I told Emma I'd think about it, she went into performance mode. Suddenly, she was affectionate again. Home-cooked meals. Hand on my chest at night. Even told me she'd consider the prenup, just to show you I'm serious. I didn't buy it. So I dug deeper. Remember the wedding fund we both contributed to? Supposed to cover the venue, dress, and honeymoon? Gone. I logged into our joint wedding account, cleared out. 5 figures vanished over the past year. And not for deposits. There were no payments to florists or planners. Just Zara, Coach, Sephora, Nordstrom. I printed the statements. Waited for her to get home. I didn't yell. Didn't accuse. Just slid the papers across the table and asked, where's the money, Emma? She stared at the statements like they were in another language. Then blinked hard and said, you went through my purchases? Yes. Our wedding money. Explain. She didn't. Instead, she went straight to tears. You don't understand what it's like being with someone like you, successful, put together, perfect. I felt like I had to keep up. Keep up? With me? I wore Timex and drove a 10-year-old truck. Meanwhile, she had $600 heels and a $2,000 bag she swore was a gift from work. You lied, I said flatly. About the debt. About the wedding fund. About who you really are. Her voice dropped. Cold now. So what? You're gonna leave me over money? No. I'm leaving you because you weaponized trust. That broke her. She flipped from sobbing to screaming. If you walk away, everyone will know what kind of man you really are. I stood up, walked toward the door, and said what I should have said months ago. Let them. I'll be too busy sleeping in peace. After I walked out, she blew up my phone. Calls, texts, voice notes, crying, begging, furious. Then the messages changed tone. I've talked to my parents. They think you owe me compensation for wasting my time. Compensation? For her lies? She wanted me to pay for her ruined wedding. For the venue we hadn't even fully booked. For the dress she'd already bought without my input. For her emotional damages. I didn't respond. Instead, I sent her something unexpected. An invoice. Itemized. Professional. Total, $13,487.21. Her half of the wedding expenses already paid. Half the catering deposit. Refund for the canceled honeymoon flights. Even her $800 emergency vet bill I'd covered last fall when her cat swallowed a ribbon. I included a polite note. Attached is the breakdown of what I've spent in good faith. Payment requested within 30 days. She lost her mind. Posted a screed on Facebook accusing me of financial abuse. Said I was heartless, petty, and trying to ruin her credit. Comments came pouring in. Her friends? Mostly supportive of her. Mutuals? Silent. My inbox? Full of screenshots people were sending me privately. Turns out, Emma had a pattern. A guy from her past met me. She did the same thing to me in college. Told me she had $10,000 in debt. Turned out to be closer to $40,000. Ghosted me when I asked questions. I wasn't alone. And I realized she'd been doing this for years. Hiding messes and expecting men to clean them up. Except this time, her broom broke. A week later, she finally replied to the invoice. Go to hell. Fine by me. I already had a lawyer drafting the prenup's replacement, a release of liability. And I wasn't done. 2 weeks after I sent the invoice, I got served. Emma was suing me. Claimed financial damages, emotional distress, and defamation. Said I sabotaged the wedding and embarrassed her publicly. I almost laughed. Except she was dead serious. Her lawyer even emailed mine with a settlement demand. $25,000 in compensation or she'd take this public. Newsflash, she already had. That Facebook rant? It backfired hard. Word was spreading through our social circle. And someone, still don't know who, leaked the actual reason behind our breakup into a group chat we were both in. The text dump hit like a nuke. Emma was hiding $92,000 in debt. Maxed credit cards, payday loans. She used their wedding fund on designer bags and lied to him about it. She flipped when he asked for a prenup. This isn't about love. She wanted a bailout. Screenshots attached. Comments exploded. You could feel the tide turning in real time. One of her bridesmaids left the group. Her cousin posted a cryptic TikTok that got hundreds of likes. Y'all be fake crying over men you planned to rob anyway. I got a dozen private messages that night. All versions of, you dodged a bullet. Emma, meanwhile, doubled down. Posted another video crying, saying she was being harassed for being poor and judged for having a past. Except it wasn't just her past. She was still deep in the hole and still hiding it. Then my lawyer dropped the final card. We subpoenaed her credit records. The goal? Prove I wasn't defaming her, just stating facts. What we found? She'd applied for another loan a week after I walked out. $12,000. From a high-interest lender. She wasn't trying to sue me for justice. She was trying to cover her new mess with my settlement money. That was it. I told my lawyer, we're going scorched earth. The day after my lawyer hit back with the subpoena, I got a call I didn't expect. Emma's dad. We hadn't spoken since the wine incident. Honestly, I figured he hated me by now. But his voice was low. Almost embarrassed. Can we talk? Just us. I said sure. We met at a quiet diner the next morning. He looked older, like the last few weeks aged him 10 years. The second he sat down, he let out a sigh and said, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of this. I waited. Emma's been reckless for years. Her mom and I kept bailing her out. We thought you'd stabilize her. So they knew. He admitted they covered tens of thousands of her early debts. The car she said was paid off? They paid it off. Her college loans? Deferred multiple times. Private loans in her name, some they didn't even know about. We warned her to be honest. But when you asked for the prenup, she panicked. I stared at him. So she thought lying was the better plan? He didn't answer that. Just said, she's not evil. But she's addicted to appearances. That debt? It's not survival stuff. It's image. Bags. Shoes. First-class upgrades. Gifts she claimed were from clients. All a cover-up. Then came the part that actually shocked me. We're cutting her off. No more bailing out. She made her bed. He slid a check across the table. $13,487.21, the exact amount on the invoice I sent her. This doesn't fix everything, but it's what she owes you. From us, not her. I didn't know what to say. He stood up, patted my shoulder, and said, "You were the best thing to happen to her." And she blew it. That afternoon, I told my lawyer to withdraw the countersuit on one condition. We send her lawyer a copy of her dad's check. Let her see exactly who really believed she was in the wrong. Emma didn't respond. But the next morning, I woke up to see she deleted her entire social media presence. And for the first time in months, I smiled. A week after her social media vanished, I figured I'd seen the last of her. Until she showed up at my office. It was late Friday afternoon, pouring rain outside, and there she was in the lobby, soaked, shaking, mascara streaked like war paint. The receptionist looked panicked. She says it's urgent. Should I call security? I should have said yes. Instead, I walked out, arms crossed. She looked up at me like some tragic movie character and whispered, "Please, just 5 minutes." I sighed, led her outside under the awning. She didn't speak right away, just stood there, wringing her hands like she was trying to hold her skin together. "I lost everything," she finally said. "The dress, the deposits. My credit's tanked. My parents won't even return my texts." I stayed quiet. "You were right. About all of it. No excuses this time. Just raw, ugly truth." She lied because she was scared. She thought if I saw the real her, the messy, drowning in debt version, I'd leave. And you did. I finally spoke. "No. I left the liar, not the mess." She winced. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out something I didn't expect. The check. The one her dad gave me. Still uncashed. He told me, "I wanted you to know. I'm not taking the easy way out this time. I'm paying you back." Myself. I took the check, tore it in half, and said, "Then start by paying yourself back first." She nodded, tears in her eyes. "Do you think someday we could talk again? Not about marriage. Just..." I shook my head. "Maybe someday, but not today." She left without another word. That night, I poured a drink, sat on the couch, thought about everything, the lies, the chaos, the broken trust, but also that I never ignored the signs, and I never sold my peace for someone else's panic. 2 weeks passed after she showed up at my office. No calls, no texts, no drama. It almost felt over until I went to clean out the old storage unit we'd shared. She'd finally moved her stuff out, but left behind a box labeled junk, toss, in thick black marker. Inside? Not junk. Not even close. It was everything she'd hidden. Unpaid statements, loan letters, overdraft notices, maxed out credit card bills. One from a luxury spa for $1,700 labeled as wedding stress treatment. Another? A gift receipt for the $2,000 handbag she told me was a corporate thank you. And one more thing, a handwritten letter. No envelope. Just folded and tucked on top of the mess like a cherry on top of a dumpster fire. It read, "I don't know why I did this to you. I thought I could fix it before you found out. I thought if I married you fast enough, none of it would matter. I'm sorry. I love you. I always did." No signature. Just the date. 1 week before I asked for the prenup. She hadn't planned to tell me anything. She'd planned to bury it. All of it. And that box? That was the coffin. I boxed it all back up and dropped it off at my lawyer's office. No pettiness. No threats. Just a note attached. In case she tries anything again. He called me the next day and said, "Smart move. You're officially untouchable." I was free. No debt. No drama. No wedding. Just me, my dog, my truck, and the cleanest slate I'd had in years. But one last twist was still coming, because I got an email the next day. From her new boyfriend. The email hit my inbox on a random Tuesday night. Subject line: "Need to talk about Emma." At first, I thought it was spam, or a fake profile. But no, it was real. Written by a guy named Alex. Said he'd been dating Emma for about a month. Claimed he accidentally found my name when she mentioned me in passing, and then he looked me up. His message started polite. "I know this might be awkward, but I figured you'd want to know." Then it got interesting. She said you were controlling, emotionally distant, and tried to ruin her financially after your breakup. Cute. But some stuff isn't adding up. Apparently, she told him she left me after realizing I only cared about money. But when he asked why her credit was wrecked, she admitted to a few financial mistakes that spiraled. He got suspicious when she asked him to co-sign a lease on a luxury apartment, barely a month into dating. He refused. She flipped. She said if I loved her, I'd help her rebuild. That she couldn't keep dating guys who only wanted her when she was thriving. Sound familiar? That's when he did a deeper dive and found the group chat thread. Yes, that one. The one with the screenshots. The one that laid it all bare. I'm not trying to get in the middle of anything, man. Just figured you deserve to know she's still running the same playbook. I replied with one sentence. Thanks for the heads up. Be careful. His last message? Already blocked her. Good luck to the next sucker. I sat with that for a while. This wasn't about me anymore. Emma wasn't just one bad decision, she was a pattern. Of hiding, blaming, burning bridges with just enough tears to buy sympathy from the next fool in line. And she almost got me. Almost. 6 months passed. No lawsuits. No new drama. Emma faded into the background like a bad dream that stopped feeling real. The wedding venue refunded part of the deposit. The dress? She tried selling it online. No buyers. I moved out of our old apartment. Got a smaller place. Quieter. Cleaner. Mine. For a while, I thought that was it. Chapter closed. Then, last week, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside? A birthday card. Generic. Hallmark. Scrawled in the corner. I really did love you. I hope you're doing okay. That was it. No apology. No ownership. Just one final tug at a thread she thought might still be attached. I sat with the card for a minute. Then I picked up my phone and typed one final message. Emma, I loved you, but I don't trust you. And love without trust isn't love. It's fear in a tuxedo. Please don't contact me again. I blocked her number, took a deep breath, and exhaled the last of her. Life now? I'm good. Not in a new relationship, not looking. Just rebuilding. Stronger. Smarter. Free. I tell people the truth when they ask about the wedding that never happened. I asked for a prenup. She threw wine at me. I dodged a $92,000 bullet. Most laugh. Some wince. But all of them agree. It's better to be alone than with someone who sees you as a lifeline instead of a partner. So yeah, I kept my peace. And my bank account. But more than that, I kept myself. The best damn wedding I never had.